After I was diagnosed with a brain metastasis, first of all, of course, I was totally shocked. And I figured that this was going to be the end game now, since the breast cancer had spread to the brain. Um, I saw two opinions, and I had been a member of a website online, and I knew about people getting brain metastases, and many of them would have SRS, or stereotactic radiosurgery, which would be one shot to the tumor with radiation. And when I went for the second opinion, they suggested that I actually have, or I would get more control if I had a craniotomy, followed by 5 targeted dosages of radiation, or in this case, it was IMRT, or intensity modulated radiotherapy, which would be when the radiation beam comes in, it really focuses on the target to minimize any radiation to the surrounding healthy tissue. So the beam is modulated, the intensity of the beam is modulated. So needless to say, I was very upset. I wanted SRS, and I couldn't understand this. Most people were getting SRS, but they felt that I would have more control over having both the craniotomy followed by the targeted radiation. So that's a decision I made in October 2008. I had the craniotomy. It was very frightening. I felt that someone was going to be operating on my brain, and we really don't know what would happen afterwards, after I would come out of the anesthesia, or even if I would come out of the anesthesia at all, and what state I would be in. And as it turns out, it all worked out well. I was in the hospital for a few days. I was actually working full time at that time, and they wanted me to return to work in 6 weeks, but I actually went back to work in 4 weeks. However, I had to wait a little bit before they started the radiation to let the surgery continue to heal. And so then what I was doing is, not really after work, but about 4:30 in the afternoon, I was hopping on a bus and going 20 blocks from where I was working to the hospital that was going to give me the radiation. And I had to do that for 5 times. It was a little bit problematic because the radiation oncologist, that department, can change their mind in a heartbeat, given, recalibration of the machine, or other patients, and just their whole schedule. So I remember having to change my schedule a few times after I had told my manager that I was going to go this day, this day, and this day, and that was kind of difficult. But then I did the 5 shots of radiation, and also that worked well. The radiation oncologist, he actually said that he gave me a prescription for steroids, but he said, I don't really think that you're going to need them. Another thing for my surgery was that I was not given anti-seizure medication, which the first opinion had recommended that I take an anti-seizure medication. But the place where I had the surgery said, we don't do that unless you already having seizure problems and you're already on medication. So as I mentioned again, I was very frightened to have had the surgery, and then afterwards, they have to wait about a month or so before they start giving you additional brain MRIs to check out just exactly what's going on in your brain and the tumor bed, because that's actually what was radiated. The tumor was gone, and after a while, it started to become enhanced again, and then it became questionable on the reports. The radiologist impression started to indicate that they couldn't rule out regrowth of the tumor. Of course, that's very frightening because I was sort of, what does that mean? And I was pressing that issue because the radiation oncologist felt like we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I don't feel that way. I feel like I need plan A, B, and C to determine just exactly what's going on. And he suggests the area could actually be radiated again, or maybe we could give you whole brain radiation, which would be, of course, exactly what it is, radiating the whole brain, rather than just the part of it that had the brain metastasis. But instead, I had by that time started to see both the radiologist and a radiation oncologist. And the radiation oncologist recommended that I have a brain PET. And it showed no activity. And so the oncologist, the neuro-oncologist basically said that we can never say 100% with cancer, but we're 99% sure that there's nothing going on there. And that ended up being the case. And I've never had another brain metastasis since then.